But I want to put some positive content out there about these cars because these are cool cars and they have a bad reputation right now. But give it a few years, I'm telling you, people are going to want these. They're going to want clean examples in good shape. Are they going to bring hundreds of thousands of dollars? Absolutely not. But people are going to want these cars. I'm telling you. I'm telling you, man. All right, time to get going. But first, shout out to Genius Chargers, or Genius Wicked Smart Chargers. I've had this for a good decade. I guess they still make these, but anyway, it's been a great trickle charger. And you got to have the microfiber towel. Microfiber towel. You got to have the microfiber towel, right? Anyway, let's get out of here. Gonna go for a drive. What's up, guys? Welcome back. Saturday morning, going for a quick drive. Hopefully it doesn't rain. It's the time of the year where it rains just about every day, which I guess isn't a bad thing, but when you want to drive, it's not exactly a good thing. Anyway, today we're going to talk about the 350Z when it came out back in 2003, because people either don't realize or they forget that this car was a big deal. This car was very competitive. You have to remember, in 2003, there's no more Camaro, no more Firebird. This came out with just under 300 horsepower. The Corvette had over 300, obviously 350, but it was also more money. The Mustang GT had less horsepower than this. There just wasn't a lot of competition. You didn't have the Toyota Supra. All the Japanese competition disappeared in the mid-90s. So these cars were a big deal. One thing I'm not crazy about is the emergency brake here. It's like in the way of my arm when I go to rest my arm. So you kind of want to grab the e-brake, if that makes sense, when you're driving, like you're just resting your hand here. I don't know if anybody else with the Z has that issue. Got better shoes on today, that's for sure. Last time I did a video, I had boots on, which didn't go too well for driving a clutch. But yeah, this car was a big deal. The design was revolutionary. It was like pretty much nothing else when it came out. It won all types of awards. It was a big deal. And people forget that, or they just can't get over the fact that it's a Nissan. This car was competitive with the Corvette, with the BMW M3, with the Porsche 911 even. The 911 had 296 horsepower around the time this came out. And this was a fraction of the price. This car did not have a lot of competition. It's not like when the new Z came out today. It's nothing like that. Come on. Fortunately, this VA building is closed on the weekends, and I can go here and shoot a little content without any issues, or at least I haven't had any issues yet. I do just want to snap some photos real quick. Nissan released a movie called The Run, a short film where they drive a 350Z. A professional driver drives a Z through Prague, the streets of Prague. And they show off how lightweight, how nimble the car is, how agile it is. And aside from the 911, there wasn't much else that was, I mean, yes, you had the M3. Yes, there was competition, but not like it is today. Nothing like it is today. It's a fun car. If you have the opportunity to buy one of these, you should buy one, because right now they're still pretty cheap. It's getting harder and harder to find good examples. That's only going to get worse. It's only going to get harder and harder to find these cars. And these cars, in my opinion, are kind of like the Fox body. Apples and oranges, but it's kind of like the Fox body. And the reason I say that, this has been a super popular platform, relatively cheap to modify for what it is, and good examples are really hard to find. So in a way, this is kind of like the Japanese, the import version of the Fox body. Different car, obviously. It's not a muscle car, but affordable, good performance, cool styling, popular car. If you can find one in a stick, I'd pick it up. See, there I go again. I'm reaching. I want to rest my hand here, and then that almost makes you want to grab it. You know what I'm saying? Grab it. Haven't been down this road in a while. I should probably slow down. Much easier to downshift in sneakers than in boots, and the boots I had on last week. It's good to be out driving with pretty much open roads. Pretty much, on the back roads anyway. I'm definitely going to be careful through here. I'm through a tight area. I feel like the magazines were hard on the Z when it came out. Not that they didn't like it. It did win all types of awards, but they said it was heavy, when really 3,280 pounds. By today's standards, that's lightweight. This is a light car by today's standards. The Corvette was lighter. The 911, of course, was lighter. So it was a little porky back then. But still, the performance, the track edition was 0 to 60 in 5.3 seconds. And I want to say quarter mile was around 1390. Some people were getting 1370 at the track. Good drivers, maybe swapping the tires out. But there wasn't much else that was a lot faster. It was very competitive in 2003. All the way through the early mid-2000s, this car was very competitive performance-wise, and definitely styling-wise. I think it looked a lot better than the Audi TT at the time. It did get a lot of comparisons to the Audi TT. I think it was a much better looking car, or is still a much better looking car than the original Audi. It's just got some crap in the road here. Comment below what kind of exhaust you think I should get for the Z. You think I should go full trumpet and get a Tomei, or do you guys like Motordyne? I like the Motordyne, to be honest. Much more of a Motordyne person, I would say. Second gear turn, we got a cop here. Glad I was going slow. Gotta love driving a clutch, man. How else can you make 300 horsepower fun? Imagine if this was electric, this car, 3,300 pounds roughly, 287 horsepower, would be a dog. I mean, maybe with the instant torque and computers, it would be just as fast 0 to 60, but in the turns on the back roads, first of all, it would weigh 4,000 pounds, 4,200 pounds or more if it was electric. I will always bash electric cars. I just do not like electric cars. I wish they would wow me. I really do. I wish that they would come out with an electric car and I would be like, this just works. But I haven't seen that yet. I mean, I will say some of them look good. Obviously, if somebody gave me the Rimac Navara, I would want that car. I mean, who wouldn't? 0 to 60 is so overrated. I mean, yeah, it's fun, but give me something that can handle the turns. That's what I want. You got 3.5 liter V6, naturally aspirated, 6-speed manual, limited slip, at least with the Track Edition, Touring, the higher models. You've got carbon fiber drive shaft. Lots of cool stuff on the Z. Near 50-50 weight distribution, Brembo brakes on the Track Edition. And I want to say sticker on this car was around $36,000 for this. It's a Track Edition with the Brembos. It got criticized a lot for its interior. The interior is pretty much bare bones. But look at everything else from this era. Seriously, look at the Corvette interior. Look at the 996 interior. Even that isn't that great. I mean, yeah, it's better than this, but it should be for double the price, right? The BMW M3, I think, had a nice interior for its time, the E46 M3, and that was nicer than this. But again, you were not getting a brand new M3 for $36,000, $37,000. You could get a base model Z for $26,500. A buddy of mine in 04 got a base model for under $27,000. And the base model is actually the lightest because you don't have the limited slip. You don't have, it's just bare bones, it's a base. The Terminator Mustang came out in, I want to say 04, comment below. I get the dates confused and I screw stuff up. I'm not an expert, so feel free to correct me in the comments. But when that came out, that was incredibly powerful. That was a big deal, that was underrated. But still, that chassis wasn't as good as this car. Yes, it was amazing for drag racing, driving in a straight line, but on the back roads, no competition. And I don't think styling-wise, anything is held up as well. Well, the 996 obviously, which even though it's hated, I think it's a Porsche. That's held up. E46 M3 is held up, but I don't think as good as the Z. I'll say this, the exterior of the Z, I think is held up better than the exterior of the E46. I know you BMW guys aren't going to agree with me. Interior-wise, hands down, the BMW is held up better. But exterior-wise, there isn't much that is held up as well as this. I don't think the Corvette C5 has. The C6 now, yes, that's a great-looking Corvette. But the C5, I think, just isn't. It's not. I mean, it looks good. They're cool cars. Don't get me wrong. I just don't think it's aging as well as the Z. I know I'm biased. This is what I drive. But I want to put some positive content out there about these cars because these are cool cars and they have a bad reputation right now. But give it a few years, I'm telling you, people are going to want these. They're going to want clean examples in good shape. Are they going to bring hundreds of thousands of dollars? Absolutely not. But people are going to want these cars. I'm telling you. I'm telling you, man. Just say no to electric cars. Just say no to EVs. Good to get out on the drive. I could have gone to Katie's Cars and Coffee today, but that's a hike. I didn't feel like it. I only need to hit, I like to hit one show a week if I can. I'm actually more interested in other people's cars when I go to these shows. Taking photos of other people's cars, vlogging, talking to other people about their cars. That's where my passion is, more than just showing off. 28,996, we're gonna hit 29,000 today, all right. We got a third gear turn coming up, or second gear. I think we're gonna say third gear. I guess we could go to second, but we're not. Yeah, no need for that. There's a little bit of traffic. And I'm not one of these crazy drivers. Well, I mean, some people would call me crazy that aren't into driving, but I don't have to push it. I'm like 6 or 7/10 max. Yeah, I'm not gonna push Just too risky. And again, good thing about having a slow car, or slow, this car I wouldn't say is slow. It's definitely not slow on back roads, but you know what I'm saying. It doesn't have 500, 600, 700 horsepower. So I can get on it. I don't have to worry about braking sideways, coming out of a turn. Traction's great. Our turbo's kicking in. It's just fun. And these cars are reliable. Let's not forget about the reliability overall. Pretty reliable car, good performance. It's the benefit to having a mass-produced car with an engine that's been in 10 different vehicles or whatever it is that it's reliable and there are parts. It's not an arm and a leg. Like the BMWs from this era, the M3, the M3 that came a little later with the V8, awesome car, but more expensive to maintain. The M6, the M5 and M6 with the V10, forget about it. I mean, it is a cool car, but so many people had problems with those. You can buy one of those for next to nothing now, unless you can find a manual one, because of reliability. I don't know what's going on. A lot of traffic on this road going in the other direction. And a lot of JDM cars are actually, I'm going in the wrong way. I'm the old man that doesn't know what's going on. I think maybe something's going on at the track today at Budds Creek. I don't know, who knows? There's so many car events now, I cannot keep up. Nah, I don't want to go that way. I thought I wanted to go that way. I am not going to go that way. I tell you, I've not had any problems with the spacers and the extended studs on this car. The handling with the spacers is good. In some ways, maybe a little better, I would say. The track feels wider. You don't really notice the steering feel at driving speeds. At slow speeds, parking lot speeds, you do feel the difference. It is heavier, but that doesn't bother me. But the car steers great, drives great. If you're gonna get spacers, you gotta do it the right way. Get the extended studs, get good extended studs, get second gear turn. We could have stayed third, but you know, it's fun. Fun to downshift. Anyway, spacers. You know, don't cheap out on spacers, man. Too many people do that. Do not do that. And don't go too crazy. You don't need to have, I don't think this car needs 30-inch wheel spacers. A lot of people do 20 in the front, 25 in the rear. I was a little more conservative. I went 15 in the front and 20 in the rear. Figured I could always change it back if I didn't think this was aggressive enough. But I don't have to be perfectly flush. I think 15 and 20 for me is the way to go on these. Anyway, guys, thanks for watching. Like and subscribe. Stay tuned for more content. Lots of fun stuff coming.